Welcome, welcome. We are about to get started. Just getting the music started. Had a very busy morning so far, so just gonna get the relaxing stuff on. Did this one. Let's see what this one is. This one's good. There we go. This is nice. Oh, that's a good vibration. There we go. Put it on too. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody? Hi, Michelle. Not Michelle Kim. How are you doing today? Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna need these over here. These crystals are freezing. How is everybody doing today? How have I been? I've been good. Today has been a little rough, but everything has its reason. So trying to allow rather than resist. But how have you been? How's everybody else doing? I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Same, yes. Susan, thank you. Welcome. Rough morning too. Well, it is the new moon in Leo. And Leos do not like morning. So it doesn't surprise me that this particular full moon is going to be a little bit more rough in the beginning of the day. By that mentality, the evening should be a little bit better for us. Leos tend to be a little bit more grumpy in the morning and a lot more energetic halfway through the day. So hopefully that's the case for all of us. Pretty soon we'll go ahead and get into the channeling. I just want to give everybody a chance to come in. Hi Sandra, welcome. We are doing Sunday Satsang, and basically what that is a spiritual version of the typical religious Sunday gathering. And we're just going to have some channelings, and we're going to be reading from the Game of Life. So if y'all have this book, highly recommend for you to pull it out. We're going to be doing the second chapter today. We did the first chapter last weekend, which that whole live is up on YouTube right now. So if you have missed that one, feel free to check it out later on. Jen Lee, thank you so much for the follow. Hoping for a happy message, but anything would be good. Yep, so we're going to be doing channeling. So hopefully, the way that I do this is I'll call in Archangel Michael, get a message from him. Archangel Gabriel, get a message from him. I call in Jesus, we get a message from him. And then anybody else that wants to come through afterwards, I leave that door open if there is anybody that wishes to give a further message. Last weekend I just did those 3, so hopefully this weekend we'll have a bit of a surprise. Rebecca, hello. Ooh, look at that. I just knocked my tarot cards, and the tarot card that came out was the World. Yeah, we're done. We are done with this cycle. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much, Spirit. I know I'm done with this past cycle. Thank you, Rebecca, for the big love. Thank you so much. So thank you, Spirit, for that quick message. Maybe I'll pull some tarot as well. Maybe we can start off with that. Maybe that was a little bit of a message. So let's get a tarot message for the collective. You know what, we'll use the animal tarot because that's the one that wanted to be used. So we'll use that guy. Just letting it flow, just letting it flow, letting it be whatever it is. Good morning, Susan. Yes, Rebecca, that is right. When did the past cycle end? I think it's different for everybody, Michelle Kim, but I'm done with this. I'm really hoping that it's done. I really am. I think for me, it's the last few months have been the ending of that past cycle. And I think that we're living the new cycle now. See, there's a blending that happens between the ending of the last one and the beginning of the new one. There's not a clear moment where everything is done. Not always. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we get that, but sometimes we don't. And so for me, the last few months have definitely been that blending of the old into the new. The new feels so fresh and good, and there's a lot of really powerful energy there. But I notice sometimes we dip back into the old to make sure that we really are done with that energy. So I try not to have frustration for that energy when it comes up, but it's not always easy. Rough couple of months for you too, Susan. I get that. So, yeah, Sarah, happy full moon. I'm just doing a quick full moon tarot reading because today is technically the full moon in Leo, and of course Leo needs to be celebrated and seen and noticed. So we're gonna do a tarot reading for the collective for the full moon. Sorry, I keep saying new moon. I mean full moon. It's the full moon. Lots of tingling in left arm. That might be your oh, I feel like there's a spirit or a spirit guide there on your left side. So try to connect with them. Try to connect with them and see. You're amazing and your other half is amazing. Oh, guiding light, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. All right, I'm just gonna get a couple cards for the full moon. The full moon in Leo. The full moon in Leo. What is the collective expecting from the full moon in Leo? Oh my goodness. You're welcome, Susan. Full moon in Leo. And then we'll get into the channeling right after that. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is for sure full moon in Leo energy. Not a question in my mind. So the very first card that popped out for us was the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is impulsive, passionate, and literally doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks about what they want to do. How do you contact them, spirit guides? Try meditation. They'll come to you. Last night my arm was doing the same thing and twitching all night. Oh wow, Rebecca. Mia's here. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Okay, so with the Page of Wands, this is just letting us know that the energy of today is going to be it could be a little overwhelming for some people. It could be where you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling like it's too much. I feel like too, it could feel like maybe you're not ready for it, and that's okay too. I feel like this is unbridled energy, unbridled intention. Yeah. And so the thing is with this particular energy, I don't think you have to be ready for it. I don't think you have to be available to fully harness this. I think you just need to be open to it. 111. Yeah, you just need to be open to that. Andy, how are you, my dear? And then you have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is about making that plan, taking control. Of course, this deck is the Lion. So full moon in Leo, of course this card would pop out. No doubt in my mind. And so I think this is more of a confirmation that this definitely is a powerful energy for anybody who's ready to be open to it. You don't have to harness it. You don't have to try anything. And I feel like the harder you try to do it, the more resistance you're going to be adding to it. And I think it's more about letting it flow and maybe making a plan for it in the future, being ready to make that plan. Of course, we have two wands. We have the Page of Wands and we have the King of Wands. So this is about the innocence and the maturity. And harnessing those two things is very important for us as spiritual beings. It's important for us to hold on to our innocence, to hold on to our impetuosity, and also be mature about what it is that we want in life and go for that and do that thing. But more importantly, these two cards just don't care about what other people think that they're doing. They just do their thing and they just go with it. They just go with it. So I think that's the biggest part about this energy, is just, what is it for you? Not what is it supposed to be? Not what are you supposed to do with it? But being honest with yourself and feeling inside of yourself. Is it releasing some old shit? Because 10 of Swords popped up too for us. And 10 of Swords is definitely about being done with something. This is the ending of suffering. This is the ending of betrayal. This is the ending of all of that hardship. And so I feel like what this is asking us to do is to choose to be done. That's a choice. You don't have to be done. You don't have to be done. You can hold on to that bitterness and that anger and that resentment for your situation, for what's going on, no matter what it is. But this energy here is asking you to just not forget about this, but be done. Just be done. It's time to be done. How do we do that, Spirit? How do we do that? Temperance. Trying to get that balance for ourselves. This is also the most non-judgmental card in the entire deck. So non-self-judgment. Being easy on yourself, letting it flow, letting it be what it will be. And the Tower. Embracing radical change. This full moon is offering radical change for anybody that is ready. I'm ready for radical change. It's not always comfortable though. You see, that's not always a comfortable thing. And this energy here is definitely not comfortable. It's worth it though. It's definitely worth it. Creativity, spontaneity, passion, excitement, adventure. That's what the King and the Page of Wands are offering. But we have to be done with the past. We have to be done with the past. Or at least try. I'll pass on the change. It's a good change though. It's a good change. It's offering us peace. And I feel like what this is just like the burning down of everything that was no longer serving us. The burning down, the crumbling of all of these structures that we had previously built on false belief and manipulation, conditioning. Just we've got to decide to be done with that. And so if you're ready to decide to be done, it's there for you. And if you're not ready, that's also okay. That's definitely okay. Not everybody's going to be ready for that, but that's what this energy is calling for you. So that's what I feel with that. Definitely aligns with the reading you did for me a while back. That's great. And Susan, if you're not ready for change, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. You don't have to be. It's just that's the energy that's here with this full moon. That's the energy that's... it's just available. I'm done. Personally, I'm done. Okay, so we have some angels and some other people to call in for messages today. So let's call them in and see what they have for us. Well, you can keep the boyfriend as long as he's actually good for you. Feel the same, very much confirmation. Wonderful. Oh, yes. Okay. I can feel them strong now. So we're going to go ahead and get into the channeling portion. If you guys want to join in with my channeling, that's totally fine. You can absolutely do that. The way I do it is very easy and simple. It's something that my mentor showed me a long time ago, and it's such a good way to do it. All you have to do is you take a nice deep breath in, and you, with that breath, you say, Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. You blow all of the air out of your lungs. And when you're breathing in the essence of Archangel Michael or whoever it is that you decide to call in with that breath. Breath is very important. It helps us connect to our higher self. It helps us connect to the non-physical. Like we literally don't see air. You don't see it. It's physical and non-physical at the same time, and it's a very powerful tool to connect with your guides, your angels, spirits, whatever it is that you can't see. It's very powerful. So highly recommend to do that. I'm actually using some essential oils that I got a long time ago to help me connect a little bit better, to have some more substance to the air, if that makes sense to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to call in Archangel Michael together if that's what you choose. You do not have to participate in this portion of the satsang, the spiritual gathering. But I highly recommend it because he's very healing and powerful. So let's go ahead and do that. Nice deep breath in. Okay, one more. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Blow all the air out. Breathe in his essence. Woo! Oh my goodness. He is very big today. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. What are we offering today? What are we offering today? Oh, chatty right away. Here we go. Today, I wish to offer you strength, real strength, not the type that you hear about on TV or see in movies or that even your friends or family talk about. What I'm talking about is true inner strength, the strength of knowing yourself. There is no other amount of physical strength or anything else in the world that compares to the strength, the pure strength of knowing yourself and knowing your heart, knowing your mind. And this is what I offer for you today if you choose. I will put this in your crown and it will trickle down through your whole body. This beautiful gem, this healing, the healing of the mind, the healing of the heart. You are taught from such a young age to not believe yourself, to not trust yourself, to question who you think that you are. And while questioning who you think you are is such a powerful and good thing, it is the outside influence that keeps you from discovering what that really is. Some of you have started to figure it out. The door is open for me to come crashing through and help you all the rest of the way. But you have to be willing. You have to let me help you through. It's okay if you're not ready. It takes time. And the conditioning of your world is strong and powerful. But I promise you, it is not more powerful than you. In your individuality, you as a singular person, it is not more powerful. There could be millions of them, all strong in their belief of who you are, but they are no match for your confidence about who you are when you truly discover that within yourself. It's a long journey. Some say it's never ending. While that's possible, it still is worthy. You see, who you are as a person will change forever. And it's a beautiful thing. When you discover new things about yourself, what you don't understand is that you create new realities, entire realities. Did you know that? Did you know that you create an entire world of being? You are little tiny gods walking around on earth, and you are none the wiser. And I wish to help you see that. Not for the purpose of knowing that you are God, but for the purpose of knowing that you are strong within yourself, that has value, that has merit, and it is important. It's important to be individual. The society that you live in puts value on sameness. And while there are similarities, there are many of you, each and every one of you is vastly different. You have entire universes inside of you that is completely different than anyone else. And it is the most beautiful thing. And I simply just wished for you to know that. Not believe it, not think it, but to know it. In the knowing is the power. In the knowing is, as you may think, other people don't want you to know it. And while that is true for their own personal gain, it is only because they do not know themselves. For if they knew themselves, they would never deprive you of that. You are living in a world of hurting and suffering, and that will never change. There will always be hurting and there will always be suffering, and the ways in which you deal with that will also change. At this time, you're kind, inflicted on each other, on other living things even. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But there is a better way. And by you singularly knowing who you are, you will infect others. You will infect others with this beautiful power. And so today, I am not only giving you the gift of knowing, I am giving many others the gift of knowing through you as well. And you don't need to do a single thing. They will see it in you, and it will spark the ember inside of them. It may take years, it may take decades, but eventually that ember will become a burning flame that they then will share with others as well. You are strong. You can do this for yourself. Think of it this way. Who is living your life? Who is living inside the body that you are inhabiting right now? Is it all those millions of people who think they know who you are? No. It is simply you. And it is time for you to take control of your life. Live it for yourself. Choose yourself. Choose yourself for once. In the most beautiful way you could possibly choose for yourself. And I'm here to help you anytime that you need it. I love all of you very deeply and truly. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. I accept. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful. Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Michael. Wow. It's so interesting. The way that he showed it to me is what we're doing right now. He came in strong today. Yes, he did. What we're doing right now feels pointless sometimes. And I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with. Oh, I'm just becoming emotional because this is so close to my heart. It's like, you don't think that what you do is powerful or worthy or worth it. Am I just wasting my time? Maybe I should just be like everybody else. It might be easier. And while it might be easier, think of your soul. If you just go back to being like everybody else, it'll be easier, but you will die inside every single day. Yes, Sarah, that was felt so deeply, so viscerally, and I wish you guys could see what I see, what I was seeing, and it's when we discover who we are, it's so literally powerful. Like the light that's inside of us is so infectious. It's like, you know how like people say that like smiling is infectious or laughing is infectious? There's nothing more infectious than individuality and independence. True independence, true individuality, and truly knowing who you are. Getting there, it fucking sucks. I'm sorry, it does. It really does. Sorry, I just need to... But it's the other part of it is that he definitely wanted to impress upon us that it is a slow process, and it's a slow process on purpose. It's slow on purpose, because anything that you go to accomplish, if you try to race there, it doesn't set in, it doesn't ingrain. And I am definitely somebody who wants to race to the finish line every time. I want to be there. I want to win, and I want to save everybody. But by working on myself, I know that I am helping others to see that they can too, even if it's the tiniest of sparks. Thank you so much, Archangel Michael. And the way that it looked too was that he had this sort of, it was like a jewel almost that he was putting into the crown of each person. and it was like he just inserted that, and then the light just kind of like went down slowly through the whole body. It was really, really beautiful. So if you're feeling lost about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you want to be doing, Michael wants to offer you that stability within yourself. And so I would highly recommend working with him if you're confused about who and what you are. He's such an amazing guiding light. Honestly, he really is. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's get into the next channel. I feel like there's somebody else that wants to come through, so they're in line and they're waiting. Oh, I'm glad, Sarah. I'm glad. I'm really glad that helped you. I like to try to at least give what my understanding is of some of the things that I feel like are kind of confusing about what they say, because they're not humans. They do their best, but sometimes what they say doesn't always make the best sense to us. And I think that's a big job of the channel, is to help bridge that gap between what the spirit guides are giving and what is being heard. Happy Sunday, Luna, hi. Lady TC, you are very welcome, very welcome. Lisa, thank you so much for the follow. Every Sunday I do this, guys. We start with channeling and then we read from the Game of Life. And that's just what we're starting with now. We're going to be doing other things later on. So let's go ahead and get into the Gabriel channel. Oh, and I just wanted to let everybody know that's in here. If you, for some reason, cannot stay for the whole live, that's totally fine. It will be up on YouTube. Last week's channel, or last week's Satsang is already up on YouTube. So if you wanted to watch that later on, you're more than welcome. We had 3 channels on that one and the first chapter of the book. So, okay. Just like we did before, nice deep breath in. Archangel Gabriel, I call upon you now. Breathe in his essence. Woo. Whoa, I literally heard him. I'm not even kidding you. I heard flapping. Yo. That was so crazy. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. Wow, wow, wow. That was so cool. He's like, you know, I had to come in a big way. It's the full moon is in Leo. That's so awesome. Thank you, Gabriel. Okay. Thank you, thank you. I have a specific message, and it is not going to be for everyone, but it is going to be for a lot of you. And I only wish that you take what resonates from my words, and I hope that you hear the intention that I have with these. I want you to hear the love, feel the love that is behind these limited words that I am able to give to you today. Because today's message is so powerful. It is time. It is time for you to take up space. It is time for you to be big and loud. It is time for you to scream from the rooftops your truth, whatever that truth is. This is a difficult task that I'm asking of you, and I am well aware. I am well aware of the sacrifice that you must make to be this. But I promise you that the sacrifices that you make for your loudness, for your bigness, will be more than worth it. It's time for our kind to be loud and big. Your world needs balance. And sometimes to achieve balance, you must go off the deep end in the opposite direction. And is that uncomfortable? Absolutely. Does it feel wrong? For sure. But you have to push through that. You've got to push through those feelings that tell you that it's wrong, that you're not safe, because that is a lie. The most safe thing that you could do in this world is follow your heart. Be loud and right for yourself. And of course, the encouragement on this side is huge and incessant. And we will never give up. Never. And it's okay if you do. We will just remind you again. And don't be afraid of the people that come that want to give you a hard time, that want to give you difficulty. Don't worry about them. We will deal with them if need be. But sometimes the ones that come that are attracted to your loudness, to your bigness, and oppose you are exactly the ones who need it the most. They need you to be loud. They need you to be big with your truth, because they are in pain and they are confused within themselves. And they just don't know how to find themselves, to be peaceful within themselves. This is why that big book that some of you have read says to turn the other cheek, to offer another chance to be upset. It's simply a release. It's simply a way for them to come to terms with what they've done. And this is not to say to allow toxic behavior, absolutely not. But it is simply an explanation of the energy that is going on within the people who will come against you. So please do not be afraid of them. Just like the ones that come to you that are kind and open and ready, there will be some that come to you and that are just as needy, but are not open and are not kind. Keep your boundaries, but be clear with your message of yourself, whatever that may be. Whether it's art, whether it's creativity, a passion of some kind, it literally does not matter what it is. Your light will shine through in that. And the ones that come that don't understand, they see the light and they become frustrated and angry and resentful because they feel as though the light doesn't belong to them. But we know that that's not true. It belongs to everyone. And so I encourage you in your loudness and bigness to try to not take it personally when people are misunderstanding you in a loud way. And you don't have to tell them about themselves either. You don't even have to address it. Simply continue. Simply continue as you are. Let them be upset. It will have an end. And when they end, they will then see their own light too. And so I offer encouragement and the ability to see and hear the spark within those people as well. and to allow them to find it for themselves. There is not a single thing you need to do to help them find their light. They will do it their own self. And I do believe that some of you in here, some of you watching, this is your plight. You see the spark in others underneath all of the anger and resentment. And you try desperately to help them see it to the point where you hurt your own self. And that doesn't make sense. It doesn't help them, and it sure does not help you either. Allow yourself to be detached from those that are suffering. And I know that it's difficult to hear this, but they choose their suffering. They choose to suffer. We all choose to suffer in varying degrees. Pain is the promise, suffering is not. So as I get back on topic here, when you are loud and big and take up space, it will draw attention in the best of ways. There will be many around you, but few that are true to you. And it's important to understand that your circle of people who you truly trust and you allow within your boundaries, let it be small. Let people prove themselves to you. It does not need to be a test that you perform. It doesn't need to be anything like that. But you will know with your own intuition who is meant to be inside this circle and who is meant to just witness. You can be close to them as well. There doesn't have to be a huge separation. And of course, this is based on your own discernment of what I am saying, as I said in the beginning. This is meant for love, deep love for you and your purpose here. Find out where your light is and shine it big and bright. And try your best not to care. And I want you to know that I am always here for you. And I love you very big, very bold, as always. Wow, Gabriel was all over the place with that one. Hi, Miranda. Yeah. I really needed that one too. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. I think a lot of us are really afraid of taking up space because we are taught not to do that. We're taught to stay quiet, stay peaceful, and that being loud about our individuality is not peaceful. But honestly, it's a lie. That's not true. I think the most peaceful thing that we can do is to be ourselves loudly and show others that they can do the same. I really love the part where he was talking about the people in pain, because that's definitely something that I'm going through right now too, in different ways. So it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. The synchronicities in my outside environment to that channel was wow. Yes. I know. And it's powerful. It's like people are not going to understand you, but they're not meant to. Not really. I've been catching myself dimming for other people's comfort. Yes, do not do that. Stop doing that. It's in our nature, though. We're people pleasers. Some of us are people pleasers, and it's in our nature to do that. And I think Gabriel just wanted us to see that we don't have to do that. He wants to let us off the hook. Like, this is in your divine design and purpose to not be small. And I think when we allow ourselves to be big and loud, we realize that it's not as big and loud as we thought it was going to be. It's not as obnoxious as we thought it was going to be. It's actually much better than that. So yeah. But keep telling myself no more. So this message, yes, absolutely. Okay. Coffee's gone. That's a shame. All right. So the big man wants to come in. And then I feel like there's somebody else that wants to come in after him. I really do. And they feel really old, whoever it is. I'm not sure who it is, but they feel old to me. Wow, Sarah, no. That is awful. Our society has this standard of human that we're all supposed to emulate or be. And it's just absolutely wild to me that we don't celebrate our differences, that we don't celebrate our the things that make us who we are, because that's our differences. The differences are the thing that helps us be who we really are. Steph, hi! Oh, welcome, welcome! I am about to channel Jesus, so you came in at the perfect time. I love who I am now. I needed a bigger container to hold everything I've needed to. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get into this. Thank you for moderating, Rebecca. All right, let's get into it. So if you would like to call in his energy with me, it's going to be exactly the same as the way we did it before. Even though it's different, because he's not an archangel, it doesn't matter. So excited to hear the channeled message from Jesus. Yay! Yes, I'm excited. I don't know what he's going to say. He likes to keep me in the dark a little bit about what it is that he wants to do. So, all right, I'm going to pick those up in a second. So here we go. Nice deep breath in. Jesus, I call upon you now. Breathe in his essence. Oh, whoa. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am open and I am ready. Relax. How many of you were triggered when I said that? Relax. You need it. You need to relax. You need to let yourself relax. Let your body fall. Let your body relax. Let your face relax. Let everything relax. You're also quick to get to the finish line, but don't you realize there's only one finish line here, and it's not the goal that you think in your mind. It's the end of you. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to get there too quick, do you? There's plenty of time. There's plenty of energy. Everything is going to be just fine. And I know that your reality, your current physical reality, flies in the face of what I just said. But the truth of the matter is that you are ultimately you are protected. You're always protected. You're always taken care of. You are the most important child of the universe, each and every one of you. And you are taken care of as such. But when you don't allow it, it cannot happen. Nothing will ever be forced upon you, not even for your own good, ever. And it is interesting for me to watch how so many of you reject relaxation, and it is the thing you want the most. It's wild to me. You don't know how to relax. You don't allow yourself to relax. And when you do relax, there is guilt and shame. And so is that relaxation? Is it even relaxation? No, it's not. It's pointless to do that. I might as well just tell you not to relax at all. If that is the type of relaxation that you're going to allow yourself to have, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for you. If you are going to relax, relax. Let it happen. And I promise you, it will be so uncomfortable. You will squirm and seethe. Your ego is going to come in and tell you that this is wrong, that you could be doing so many other things with your time. But I will tell you this, each and every one of you, I don't care. It's all of you. You all need to relax. And if you don't, you will not achieve what you are looking to achieve. You won't. Not in the time that you want to do it, and not in the ways that you wish it to happen. It's a simple fact. You must relax. And I'm here to tell you, none of you know how to do it. Not truly, not really. There is always a part of you that is stiff in your relaxation. And the only times that any of you, and it's a small few, I will say, that you achieve relaxation, true and real relaxation, when you meditate. And I am not talking about the type of meditation where you connect with your guides, because that is not relaxation. I am talking about sitting there and allowing your body to turn to jello and focus on this relaxation music, for instance. And even that needs to fade into the background, because your mind is still concentrating on something. And all the while that I am saying this, there are many of you arguing for your limitations. Oh, I can't do that. My brain doesn't do that. Try. Your brain will be on fire. Your brain will freak out when you try to relax because it doesn't want to do it. It feels out of control. It feels wrong. It feels like there's danger. And so it will trick you into thinking that it doesn't have that power, but it does. It does. It will take many, many days and nights of practice because you don't even know what I'm talking about. Most of you don't. And that's okay. But my message to you today is that relaxation is 80% of achieving your goal. The moving, the working, the running, the accomplishing, the planning, all of that is easy for you. It may not be what you want to do, but it's easy for you. It's easy for you to try to do that. It takes no effort. No effort of thought, no effort of physical exertion, but true and deep relaxation. That's hard. There are many belief systems swarming around inside of your brain that keep you from letting yourself relax, telling yourself that that's not worthy of your time and energy, that there's so many things that you need to be doing. And when I'm talking to you about this deep relaxation, I am not talking about relaxing for weeks or months, although some of you need it. That's how far removed you are from relaxation. But achieving true deep relaxation, even just for 15 minutes at a time, will be the most powerful and life-changing thing that you could ever do for yourself. It's the most important practice you could ever find. Because in deep and true relaxation, what happens is you connect with non-physical. You connect with the universe. You connect with God. You connect with that part of you that lives inside of you that is quiet and ready. And when you find that and make it bigger and louder, you will watch your goals and your aspirations, your wants and desires fly right to you. They will fly right to you as if a bird flying through the air. And so my deepest want for you is to find true relaxation. If you feel as though you have found it, keep searching, keep going. It's there. And you will know it when you actually do find it. And of course, I am here to help you try to find it, but you have to allow yourself to relax and do the things that we ask of you to relax. Other people around you will not enjoy you relaxing. And that's just tough shit because you need it. You need to relax. Your body needs it, your mind needs it, your heart needs it. Your purpose needs it. And the most fulfilling thing that you can do on this earth is to fully integrate into your purpose, to truly be the ultimate version of yourself that you intended when you came here. It's an impossible task that I'm asking, of course, seemingly so. In reality, it's simple. There's a simple solution, but it's difficult to do. And that is why all of you think it's too hard. I'm asking for a quantum shift in your mindset around relaxation. And some of you are there, close to it. You're knocking at its door. And then when it cracks open, you run away. And that's okay too. Like I said, it's a process. It's learning. Some people in this earth have achieved such relaxation. So it's not impossible. Especially even inside of your society, it is still possible. So stop pushing against your reality. And let yourself be. I love all of you so very much. And I am very proud of you too. Wow. I feel freaking called out. That one was definitely something that I had to hear. Wow. Melissa, hi bestie. Thank you, Jesus, for that lovely message. I'm just looking through these comments you guys left. Susan's got it. Relaxing is a must. Thank you, Rebecca, for muting whoever that was. I don't know. Happy Sunday. Did I miss the reading of the book? You did not. I have not gotten to that yet. Annie needs that too, just saying, yep. It's funny that she got out right before this channel. So I'll definitely be sharing this one with her. Relax, lady. Yeah, I need to relax. And the thing is I try to relax, but then I do feel guilty when that happens. And it's like sometimes my body forces me to relax, and the whole time I'm just itching to get back to work, whatever that means, whatever work means for you. You know, we're conditioned so heavily in our current human reality that work is king, whatever that means. And it really isn't. Like, it really isn't. It told me I've rediscovered how to relax, and I'm the one who keeps slamming the door. Yes. Yes, that's funny. Same. Yes, because we stress about getting things done. Absolutely. But the thing is and the way that it looked, that he was giving this to me is like, if we were able to truly allow ourselves to relax, like your body forces you to relax, and then you just have guilt for that the whole time. But if we were to able just to allow ourselves to have that rest, to have that relaxation, like not just rest, but relaxation. When we achieve relaxation, we don't have guilt. We don't have worry. We're not thinking about anything else. I mean, think about when you're on vacation mode. It's so interesting that we have created a saying for true relaxation, vacation mode. And we only allow ourselves to do that for what, like a week in the year? If that. A lot of us tend to go on vacation and do even more work than we did when we weren't on vacation. It's definitely something that I have to work on, and I'm gonna really try. When we relax into ourselves, literally everything that we want comes right to us. And I just looked at that. The sound, it was at 1 hour, 3 minutes and 33 seconds, and 333 is my Jesus number. I also don't feel always able to relax. Yeah, Hi, Brandon. How you doing? But I try meditation, which works most times. Yes, I do too. Most times, meditation, when I allow myself to meditate, it works. And so I think that's another thing. Okay, I don't know who this is that wants to come in. It feels like the same energy that was before, so it might be Horus. I channeled Horus a few weeks ago for someone. He's the Egyptian god. I don't know exactly. I'm learning the Egyptian gods because they've been coming to me more recently. So I believe that's who wants to come through, but I don't know for certain. And I love the energy of the ancient gods because they are so much more grounded, I feel like, than some of the other newer ones. It's just different. You know, not necessarily better, just different. So I'm going to see who wants to come in. They probably won't name themselves until the end, so. Okay, it's somebody else. She feels wild. Of course, full moon in Leo. We'd have somebody wild coming in. I remember when you channeled him. Oh, that's so cool. I feel like he's here, kind of observing. But there's this wild energy that wants to come through, and it's definitely feminine, which is good. Could be Lilith. I'm not quite sure. Usually she's pretty forthcoming, but we'll see. So this one I'm not calling in just because I don't know who they are. So we're just going to let them come through and then I'll let you know. Law and order. That sucks, doesn't it? Rules, regulations. And not just to keep society, because of course those things are useful. But I'm talking about the laws and the order that is kept of the soul of the person, of your society. The concept. The unwritten rules. It's time to smash that down. Yeah. You see, there was a time, a long time ago, where a truly wild person was revered by society. Someone who led by their true intuition, by their passion and creativity. This was a person in the village that was celebrated, emulated, looked up to. In this society that you have, it is drowned out, demonized. You even have entire hospitals for these people to keep them silent with medication and conditioning and manipulation, gaslighting. It saddens me so. And they are taught to think that they're sick. Even you are taught to think that you are sick in some way. But the things about the way your mind works that are different are the most beautiful. They're the most beautiful. We didn't have such titles for things in my day other than amazing person. It's just so strange to see how vastly things have changed over time. See, the order of things is king now. Following a pattern, following a certain set of rules. See, in my day, those people showed you how to be true to yourself, how to be authentic and creative and passionate. So much more passion in my day, which they do not write about that. I want to let you know, they, for some reason, they leave it all out. I don't get why they do that. Passion and creativity and adventure were so prevalent in my time, such a long time ago. Your books make it seem like we were dry and boring. But this time that you live in is dry and boring. And there is an illusion of creativity and passion, which isn't true. Some of you break out of this and you're loud and big with your passion and creativity and your individuality, and you become known for your individuality. And then it is manipulated, harnessed. And that's okay. Some of you find value in that. But I am here to encourage true wild behavior, true chaos, as you would say. It's time for you ultimately to see your sickness or illness as a beautiful part of who you are. And sure, it has limitations in this current reality, this current society that you have, of course. It's difficult to be individualistic, to be truly free. But there's worthiness to that. So don't let other people tell you that you are ill in your mind or in your heart for doing the things that exist there that are true to you. They may not understand you, and that's okay too. They don't have to. And for the most part, they are jealous, and they don't understand that. They don't understand that what it is that they are feeling is jealousy, because they feel trapped and they feel stuck in your society of sameness. They wish so desperately to be individual, yet they don't know how to achieve that. But here you are, a bright, shining example of it. It's so important for you to embrace your individuality, to show others, to be an example, and not to teach, but just simply being yourself, as it has worked so long ago. Thousands and thousands of years ago. We celebrated our individuality and we harnessed it and we used it for good. And you are all on the precipice of rediscovering that. A revival of independence, a revival of creativity, of wildness. So let yourself be on the forefront of this. It's a beautiful time you live in. Difficult, but beautiful and exciting. For generations to come, what you are doing will benefit them. Okay, I don't know who that was. I really don't. Bridget? It was her day. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. She seemed very old. very, very old. It was just very difficult for me to determine where she was from. She looked like, kind of like a warrior, but not. It was like she was really trying to keep herself hidden. I don't know why they do that. The old ones do that, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe they see that it doesn't matter who they are. The message is the important part. And that might be part of the message too. Honestly. It could be her, to be honest. It really could be. There was this feeling, this sense of like, it's not about me, it's about you. It's about you. And I think that's why she didn't want to be explicitly named. It very well could have been her. But it was beautiful. Thank you so much, whoever you are, for that message, that beautiful message. I hope that you will come back at a later time and introduce yourself to us, because we really do love and appreciate your energy and your insight. Thank you so much for sharing with us today this truly important message. And it was so interesting because she was making this correlation between what we teach with our history and what their actual life was, and how it's vastly different. And she just felt so confused, like, why wouldn't you be conveying the true reality of what society was like for us? And I think that it is because our society right now is not built on individuality, and so it's not something that people look for. It's not something that we try to prove or see. But I feel like that part of it is coming to an end anyway. I rarely get names when I said why, it distracts from the message. That, Melissa, that's exactly what I was feeling with her. She tried really, really hard to not let me see her. And I respected that. I just was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, she's one of the only ones that don't demand too much from working with her. She came to me a few years ago and was working with me for a while. I had no idea why until I got pregnant. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Cindy, thank you so much for commenting. Right now we are doing our Satsang Sunday, which is just the channelings that I just finished, and we're going to be going through the second chapter of this book, and then that is all we will have for today. So I will be doing readings later on this evening, as long as I have the energy to do so. Okay, so if you guys have the book, go ahead and pull it out. We're on page 15. And this book is really amazing. So the reason that I go through this book, that I wanted to go through this book, is because it really helps you to, I think it helps you to find your power, to be yourself, to do for yourself, to ignore what's going on outside of yourself, and to take action for yourself without guilt or worry or responsibility for others. Bridget is tied to inner strength. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I've been wanting to really get into the like Celtic gods and goddesses too. So I think that might be something that I start studying so that I can recognize them better. But then they won't be able to hide themselves from me, of course. Well, not necessarily anyway. Okay. So the second chapter that we have here is titled The Law of Prosperity. Now, this book kind of uses the Bible to prove its point. And I mean, this was written 100 years ago. So Times were different then. So we are going to take this information and apply it to our today moment, which sometimes takes a little bit of finagling to be able to do that. So I'm going to get as far into this chapter as I can, which I should be able to read the whole thing. It doesn't look terribly long. And then we're going to talk about it. If we have any comments about it, at times I'll probably stop to help explain some of the things that she's talking about in this book through my own lens. Now, of course, I want you I want you guys to understand that this is my perspective. This is something that I'm going to read this through the lens of my own belief, which I guarantee you in 10 years will be completely different. And that's fine too. So feel free to discuss this also in the chat if you want. All right. So underneath Law of Prosperity, she has a verse here. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. That's interesting. That concept of you're protected, that you don't have to worry about money, that it's going to be provided for you when you need it and when you allow it. Okay, here we go. One of the greatest messages given to the race through the scriptures is that God is man's supply, and that man can release through his spoken word all that belongs to him by divine right. He must, however, have perfect faith in his spoken word. True. Sure, I can read that again. The Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn. The verse here is, she doesn't say what verse it is, so I assume that it's from the Bible, but I don't know for certainly. Anyway, it says, yea, Y-E-A, I'm guessing that's yea, ye, yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. Thou shalt have plenty of silver. I like that. Then she goes on to say, Isaiah said, my word shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that whereunto it is sent. We know now that words and thoughts are a tremendous vibratory force, ever molding man's body and affairs. I think it's so crazy that 100 years ago they were talking about this. They understood vibration. They understood that your thoughts and your words have power, and like that we are like this now. Like our society is like this now. Like 100 years, and we're still this way. It's just, we're getting there though. We're getting there. Patience, right? Hi, Cheeky. How are you? Okay, so a woman came to me in great distress and said she was to be sued on the 15th of the month for $3,000. She knew no way of getting the money and was in despair. I told her God was her supply and that there is a supply for every demand. So I spoke the word. I gave thanks that the woman would receive $3,000 at the right time in the right way. I told her she must have perfect faith and act her perfect faith. Act her perfect faith. See that? That's the piece. The 15th came, but no money had materialized. She called me on the phone and asked what she was to do. I wanted to point this out because it's so funny. She like hyphenate, or what do you call that? Apostrophed phone. So like it's supposed to be telephone, but she like put the little before the phone because I don't know. I thought that was funny. We don't do that anymore. Language. Anyway, I replied, it is Saturday, so they won't sue you today. Your part is to act rich, thereby showing perfect faith that you will receive it by Monday. she asked me to lunch with her to keep up her courage. When I joined her at a restaurant, I said, "This is no time to economize. Order an expensive luncheon. Act as if you have already received the $3,000. All things whatsoever ye ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive." You must act as if you had already received. The next morning, she called me on the phone and asked me to stay with her during the day. I said, "No, you are divinely protected and God is never too late." Happy Sunday. In the evening, she phoned again, greatly excited, and said, "My dear, a miracle has happened. I was sitting in my room this morning when the doorbell rang. I said to the maid, 'Don't let anyone in.' The maid, however, looked out the window and said, 'It's your cousin with the long white beard.' So I said, 'Call him back. I would like to see him.' He was just turning the corner when he heard the maid's voice, and he came back. He talked for about an hour, and just as he was leaving, he said, 'Oh, by the way, how are your finances?' I told him I needed the money, and he said, 'Why, my dear, I will give you the $3,000 the first of the month.' I didn't like to tell him I was going to be sued. What shall I do? I won't receive it till the first of the month, but I must have it tomorrow." I said, "I'll keep on treating." I said, "Spirit is never too late. I give thanks she has received the money on the invisible plane and that it manifests on time." The next morning, her cousin called her up and said, "Come to my office this morning and I will give you the money." That afternoon, she had $3,000 to her credit in the bank and wrote checks as rapidly as her excitement would permit. If one asks for success and prepares for failure, he will get the situation he has prepared for. For example, a man came to me asking me to speak the word that a certain debt would be wiped out. I found he spent his time planning what he would say to the man when he did not pay his bill, thereby neutralizing my words. He should have seen himself paying the debt. It's so funny that they already knew. We have a wonderful illustration of this in the Bible, relating to the 3 kings who were in the desert without water for their men and horses. They consulted the prophet Elisha, who gave them this astonishing message. "Thus saith the Lord, ye shall not wind, neither shall ye see wind. Ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain, yet make this valley full of ditches." The man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. That's a bar. He will get the situation he prepared for. Exactly. And so that's what it is. We as a society, even a spiritual society, we know that we need to have a goal in mind. What is it that you want? Why do you want it, right? But then you have to act on that. Be prepared for it. Allow the universe room to give you what you wanted. And so sometimes if we're looking for love, we need to make room for love. If we're asking for money, we need to make room for money. How are we going to get that? It depends. You just have to be open and ready for how that's going to happen. Let's see here. For example, a woman found it necessary to look for an apartment during the year when there was a great shortage of apartments in New York. It was considered almost an impossibility, and her friends were sorry for her and said, "Isn't it too bad you'll have to store your furniture and live in a hotel?" She replied, "You needn't feel sorry for me. I'm a superhuman, and I'll get an apartment." That's confidence right there. Yeah, set the intention and work towards it. Exactly. She spoke the words, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for the right apartment." I love that saying. Infinite Spirit, open the way for the right whatever. And when they say right, they mean aligned or divine. She knew there was supply for her demand and that she was unconditioned, working on the spiritual plane, that one with God is a majority. My left ear just started ringing. Oh, that's awesome. How does one just keep the faith intact? I believe that acting towards it helps the faith. So it's like something that she says in this book is, when you're nervous, focus on service. So if you're wanting something, putting your energy towards that in a positive way, and without trying to release fear, trying to release judgment. It's all about trying. You may not achieve it in the way that you're hoping that you do, but if you're trying, the opposite energy, meaning the universe, is going to help you get there. So it's like the minute that you put physical action towards the thing that you want, you know that the universe can give this to you. You know that you deserve it. And those two things you have to work on in here, because here knows it. Your heart knows what you are worth. Your heart knows what you are worthy of and what you should have, what you want, right? But your mind is the one that messes you up. Your mind gets in the way. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. Oh, but that. Whatever it is. And with that, it's time for me to do my live sale. Thank you for coming in, bestie. Have fun with your live sale. Ooh, I love that. When you're nervous, focus on service. Yes, it's a quote from this book that I've loved forever, and it really does help. It really, really does help. I guess I pushed Melissa into acting. Okay, and then she said here, she had contemplated buying new blankets when the tempter, the adverse thought or a reasoning mind, suggested, "Don't buy the blankets. Perhaps after all you won't get an apartment and you will have no use for them." She promptly replied to herself, "I'll dig my ditches by buying the blankets." So she prepared for the apartment, acted as though she already had it. Nervous, focus on service. Yes. Thank you for coming in, Shake Girl. I do readings, just not right now. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Let's see here. She found one in a miraculous way, and it was given to her, although there were over 200 other applicants. Isn't that crazy? The blankets showed active faith. It is needless to say that the ditches dug by the 3 kings in the desert were filled to overflowing. That's in Kings, in 2 Kings in the Bible, 2 Kings. Getting into the spiritual swing of things is no easy matter for the average person. The adverse thoughts of doubt and fear surge from subconscious. They are the army of the aliens, which must be put to flight. This explains why it is so often darkest before dawn, because our mind is kind of freaking out, right? Our mind is like, the reality, you know, and your higher self is like, don't pay attention to that. You create your own reality. You really do. You just have to be patient and allow it to happen and believe it will happen. And when you take action on belief, it strengthens the faith and it allows the universe to give it to you. A big demonstration is usually preceded by tormenting thoughts. And when she says a big demonstration, she means the manifestation. That's what she's talking about. Having made a statement of high spiritual truth, one challenges the old beliefs in the subconscious, and error is exposed to be put out. So when you say something in faith and your mind says, "Whoa," You have just discovered a piece of your subconscious that is no longer serving you. And that is your work. Making that less loud, right? This is the time when one must make his affirmations of truth repeatedly and rejoice and give thanks that he has already received. Before ye call, I shall answer. This means that every good and perfect gift is already man's, awaiting his recognition. Man can only receive what he sees himself recognizing. So that is talking about you create your own reality. So it's up to you. You can see things as terrible or you can see things as optimistic. That is your choice. And the way that you choose to think terrible, or you can see things as optimistic. That is your choice. And the way that you choose to think, see that, it will create the reality for you. It will create your sense of light or dark. Right? So we're going to get some Jesus in here. Jesus Christ gave a wonderful example of this. He said to his disciples, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh the harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are ripe and ready to harvest." His clear vision pierced the words of matter, and he saw clearly the fourth dimensional world, things as they really are, perfect and complete in divine mind. Confirmation glitch. Yeah. So man must never hold the vision of his journey's end and demand the manifestation of that which he has already received. It may be his perfect health, love, supply, self-expression, home, or friends. They are all finished and perfect ideas registered in divine mind, man's own superconscious mind, and must come through him, not to him. For example, a man came to me asking for treatments for success. It was imperative that he raise within a certain time $50,000 for his business. The time limit was almost up when he came to me in despair. No one wanted to invest in his enterprise, and the bank had flatly refused a loan. I replied, I suppose you lost your temper while at the bank, therefore your power. You can control any situation if you first control yourself. Go back to the bank, I added, and I will treat. My treatment was, you are identified in love with the spirit of everyone connected with the bank. Let the divine idea come out of this situation. He replied, Woman, you are talking about an impossibility. Tomorrow is Saturday. The bank closes at 12, and my train won't get me there until 10. And the time limit is up tomorrow. And anyway, they won't do it. It's too late. I replied, God doesn't need any time and is never too late. With him, all things are possible, I added. I don't know anything about business, but I know all about God. He replied, It all sounds fine when I sit here listening to you, but when I go out, it's terrible. He lived in a distant city, and I did not hear from him for a week. Then came a letter. It read, You were right. I raised the money and will never again doubt the truth of all that you told me. Layman's terms? Which part? I'm trying to see which part it was at. I suppose you lost your temper. Jesus. Right. Okay. I saw him a few weeks later and I said, What happened? You evidently had plenty of time after all." He replied, "My train was late, and I got there just 15 minutes to 12. I walked into the bank quietly and said, 'I have come for the loan.' And they gave it to me without a question. It was the 15 minutes of the time allotted to him. The infinite spirit was not too late. In this instance, the man could never have demonstrated alone. He needed someone to help him hold to the vision. This is what one man can do for another." All right, I'm going to read the thing that Jesus said, because I know that was... Okay. He said, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months in the cometh." Okay, basically what he's saying here is that the people need food, and he is telling them, like, don't pay attention to the fact that there's 4 months before harvest can happen. Like, let God make it happen for you now. And so basically what it was is that he told them to envision that the harvest was here already, even though it really shouldn't be by all physical laws. It takes time for things to grow. But he said, if you believe that you will have it now, and there is nothing else in your mind other than it will happen now, it will happen now. And see, the problem with that is that in our society, and I'm sure in societies in the past, we're conditioned to take our physical reality as the only real reality. But you have a mental reality and you have an emotional reality. And we completely negate these two realities because we put so much power and enforcement in the physical reality that we live in. And so you have to start concentrating on the mental and the emotional realities of your life. They are real. They really are real. It's just that since we can't see them, we can't perceive them, we don't put power in that. Right, power in what we see. Exactly. So if you allow yourself to imagine a physical reality in a certain way, and you feel that physical reality in a certain way, then what they're saying here is that it will come to pass. It's all in the timing, just like waiting to go see Lazarus. Took him 4 days, but he knew. Yeah, exactly. Focus on the now. Exactly, Glenn. I love that. And just like this guy going to get a loan, he was freaking out because the train wasn't going to get him there until 10 o'clock. And he's like, 2 hours is too little time. I'm not going to get the loan that I want. But in reality, Spirit only needed 15 minutes. And getting there late is probably what got him that loan, because they didn't have time to really think about it. They didn't have time to like hem and haw and talk amongst themselves. They had to just give it to him. And so we have to let go of the timing of things, because there is a divine timing to everything. Okay, and it says here, Jesus Christ knew the truth of this when he said, "If 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven." One gets too close to his own affairs and becomes doubtful and fearful. So basically what he's saying here is that if you're having trouble creating a reality that you want, when 2 people or more people, obviously we will say that, when more than one person is believing, having faith in a certain reality or a certain outcome, it's even more powerful, because you're not only using the God energy that lives inside of you, you're using the God energy of more than one person. Think about any time that you agree with another person that you both want something to happen. A lot of times that thing happens a lot faster than if you didn't. For instance, when Annie and I met, we weren't going to be physically together for a long time. And the universe changed and created a way for us to be together faster, because that's what we both wanted. And we released complete resistance to how and when that was going to happen. We allowed ourselves to just be okay with whatever was in our highest good, whatever the divine timing was. And let me tell you, it happened really fast. It happened so much faster than either of us thought could happen. And so this is what he's talking about. If you're feeling doubtful and fearful, it's just that's going to magnify. So our society as a whole believes in fear and believes in doubt. And so that is what reigns here in our existence. And believing in faith and power and manifestation is not as big as that, but it is getting bigger. We're getting more and more people believing in that stuff and believing that they have power, believing that they can manifest what they want, and create their own reality. And so it's becoming bigger and bigger. Let's see. The friend or healer sees clearly the success, health, or prosperity and never wavers because he is not close to the situation. So she's talking about herself. Basically, these people come and see her because she was a psychic too. They come and see her and she tells them what they're wanting and how to do that, how to achieve that. And they're believing it more when they're in her presence because they're both in agreement. And it puts more power to it. It is much easier to demonstrate or manifest for someone else than for oneself. So a person should not hesitate to ask for help if he feels himself wavering. A keen observer of life once said, "No man can fail if person sees him successful. Such is the power of the vision, and many a great man has owed his success to a wife or a sister or a friend who believed in him and held without wavering to the perfect pattern." So a lot of these people that have had success, they're like, my mother always believed in me, my wife always believed in me, my husband always believed in me, you know, my siblings, my friends. They always have someone that's constantly telling them when their faith is wavering, no, this is what you're meant to do. I see it in you. And they're being honest. They're not just blowing smoke. They really do see and feel that whatever it is this person is trying to do is really truly meant for them. And it adds power to what they're doing. It gives them more faith in themselves. Not everybody gets to have the benefit of that, unfortunately. But if you do need that, it could come to you in different ways. As strangers, as soul family, even on TikTok, things like that. So that chapter I think was pretty powerful as far as like how to help yourself through the doubt of the situation. It was law of prosperity, meaning you are meant to be prosperous. You are meant to have what it is that you want to have in this life. And there are many ways for us, to combat our lack of faith or our inability to see our own vision at times. So that is the end of chapter 2. It's a really good book. So the next chapter that we're going to be reading, which is next Sunday, is the power of the word. So that's the power of your spoken word, the power of your thoughts, feelings, all of that good stuff. I'm just trying to see. Okay, this chapter is not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty short. These chapters are not very long. We're getting to the good stuff. So it was lovely messages that we had today, and a lovely reading from the book. I'm going to be putting this one up on YouTube as well for anybody that wants to watch what they missed. Thank you, Rebecca. That's sweet of you. So if anybody wants to have discussion about anything, I will leave that open. If not, then we can end the live here. And I am very much hoping and looking forward to being live tonight to do some readings, if anybody's interested in that as well. I really loved the channeled messages today. I think they were pretty powerful. And I appreciate all the likes you guys were giving. I really do appreciate that too. Oh, I missed the entirety. That's okay, Glenn. I'm going to go ahead and put it up today. Well, I don't know if I can put it up today. It might be up tomorrow. Because when it's the longer lives, it's like takes time to process or something like that. I was just reminded that when I believe it'll come and forget about it, it does. Exactly. But the thing is with these bigger manifestations, these bigger desires that we have for ourselves, it's really hard for us to forget about it. Even if I look at first. Yeah. And I feel like distraction is always a good option for that. I'll have to find you on YouTube. It's the link in the bio will take you to the page. It's Eternal Wonderland is the name of the channel. The channel messages were so felt. Thank you. Another great Sunday morning with you. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna keep doing this every Sunday. So I don't know how many chapters are in this. I don't think there's that many chapters in this book. Let's see. So after today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters left. So that's like almost 2 months that we'll be reading this book. And then I don't know what we're going to do after that. We'll read from a different book. I don't know which one, but... And we'll keep coming here to join you Sundays. That would be wonderful. That would be so wonderful. I would love to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna be here whether people come in or not. I rarely get on this app, and 2 Sundays in a row was guided back, so I appreciate you. Sarah, thank you so much for listening to your intuition and joining the live. Even if just a few people are benefiting from what I'm doing today, it's worth it for me. It's definitely something that's close to my heart, and I'm sure that these Sundays are going to grow and, be something different, but for now, this is what we have. And I really enjoy, sharing this stuff with you guys. And I really do hope that, what's shared here helps you through the week, at least part of the week. Because I know a lot of you have your 9 to 5 still, and it's difficult to be in that. It's difficult to exist in that and be a spiritual person. So I think today's message was a big one about releasing fear and doubt within yourself, and know that even though your path looks scary, even though things look like they're not going to work out well for you, just know that the universe has a perfect plan for what it is that you're wanting. Sometimes it doesn't look good. Sometimes it looks pretty bad. But I have always found that when the bad things happen, the good thing that I really wanted comes right after. And I love these Sundays lives. The universe had your back. Mm-hmm. Yes, the universe has your back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always and forever. As long as you allow it to. That's the biggest part. We have to allow it, because when we don't allow it, it can't do anything. So when we rely on our fear and doubt and want to try to control everything ourselves, we don't give that opportunity for the universe to actually help us and to do anything for us. It's sort of like we cut them off at the pass. We're like, please help me. And then we're like, no, I don't want that kind of help. I want you to do it in the way that I want to do it. And the universe is like, well, the way you want me to do it, you're not going to get what you want. If I do it this way, you'll get what you want. And we're like, well, that's too uncomfortable for me. So I don't want to do it that way. And then the universe is like, okay, well, then I can't give you what you want. I do readings. I will be doing them later on tonight. I'll probably get on about 9 o'clock. Manifest and speak it. Yes, absolutely. So I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out today. This was a really beautiful Sunday gathering that we had. And I appreciate you guys coming in and offering your thoughts and feedback. And yeah, I really do appreciate it. And thank you, Rebecca, for helping moderate. I appreciate that too. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a day right now here. And hopefully if you guys are up and around, you can come and join me live tonight if you're looking for readings. I do free 1 cards and then paid for more in-depth readings. So big love. Thank you. Big love to you too. All right. And I will see you guys next Sunday. So much love and support to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy this full moon in Leo for all of its chaos and excitement. And I wish every single one of you well. Have a fantastic week. And I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic